Well, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to the string of Vietnam War movies that I'm going to be reviewing leading up to the event I told you about before, that's coming up after these reviews are done. And now I'm here to review the movie Platoon. Now, man, this is such a good movie. This is on my top 20 list of favorite movies of all time, for a reason. It's such a well put together film and such an artistic film. It is fucking heavy though at times. It is very heavy. It's a really hard to sit through, disturbing watch at times. It really is. Um, I watched this movie when I was quite young. I watched it with my brother, and I've talked to lots of people that were around, like when the movie first came out, kind of a thing. And there's one scene in particular that's just it's a really awful scene. If you watch the movie or have seen it or know anything about it, you'll know the exact scene I'm talking about, and that's sort of the pinnacle. That's the most awful scene, really, to sit through and watch. So even at a young age, I was like, yeah, no, like that's fucked up, right? But um, even asides that one scene, which, like I said, is the pinnacle, it's just so disturbing. It's so over the top. It's so hard to watch. But even before and beyond that scene, there's just such these little nuances and just little references to things, and just bits of realism in there that are just that as I said, just really get to you. And it's heavy. It's heavy as fuck, and it's hard to sit through at times. And but when I was young, I thought it was just, I didn't clue into it as much. I just thought it was, like your typical, war movie, the G.I. Joe kind of deal, fucking the good guys and the bad guys and whatever. And I talked to lots of people that were around when the movie first came out, and they maybe have not watched it in a long time. They just have a vague memory of when it first came out, and they'll be like, oh yeah, Platoon, good war movie, whatever. But I think if anybody who just remembers it at that, just because of the state of mind they were in at the time, or just from it being so long ago that they just have vague memories of it or whatever, with adult eyes, if you just sit through it and delve into it and just watch it and just let it all unfold, you really will see how truly heavy of a movie this is. And but it's a beautiful movie too. It's definitely one of my favorite Vietnam movies. And it captures the jungle, and it captures just sort of the terror of this unknown world very well, but not in a pretentious way. Like, it's not like if this movie were made nowadays, they could probably still have the same effect as far as the disturbing matters go. But it would be more shot along the lines, which I love these movies, don't get me wrong, but it would be shot more along the lines of, like, the action in it, like the battles in it would be more like Kong Skull Island, where it takes place during Vietnam, or like any of those newer movies. It's like jungle warfare, like people fighting in the jungle kind of thing. It would ruin it with that, I think. Like, there's these really real shots. Like, I don't know if they're stock footage or if they were actually filmed. I mean, there's a documentary called The Making of Platoon, a tour of the Inferno, and that's, again, one of my favorite documentaries as well. It really shows what went on during the filming of this movie, and it was really, again, similar to Apocalypse Now. I mean, Charlie Sheen was in this one. His father, Martin Sheen, was in the other one, and was in Apocalypse Now, and Charlie Sheen was in Platoon. Again, it's one of those movies where everybody that was in it was just like they were in, like they were just locked into their characters. They were locked into what was going on in this particular scene. And, you know, they all did really good jobs. Some people had some really hefty performances to do, some really stuff that, you know, I'm sure was not pleasant to act. And, yeah, there was just these, like I said before, I don't know if it was stock footage or if it was actually filmed. Knowing the production behind it, it wouldn't surprise me if it was real, but there's just the odd footage of just, you know, the sky at night, or the trees at night, and there's one shot with a sow that's really cool and really beautiful, and there's one shot of a praying mantis just like flying and landing on a leaf, and it really adds that mysteriousness of the Vietnam jungle, but not in an over-the-top, like pretentious kind of way, like modern action style kind of way. So it truly is an authentic movie, and it's definitely one of my favorites of all time. It's definitely my favorite Vietnam movie. I'd recommend all of you to watch it. It's hard to watch, but I do recommend watching it, and I'm going to give Platoon an A+. So that is my review for Platoon, everybody. Continuing on with the Vietnam War movie reviews. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you check out this movie, and thank you very much for watching.